The Favero Assioma Power Meter pedal is a favourite among cyclists for a number of reasons. They're easy to install on any crank, they're low maintenance, and they simply do what Favero claim when it comes to measuring power. Now, with the Favero Assioma having a non-replaceable integrated battery, the first question people ask about these when looking into them is the lifespan or the longevity of these as a power meter. And it's one of the first things that I looked into when these were released 3 years ago. In today's video, I put my original set of Assioma Duos to the test, seeing how much life they have in them from fully charged down to zero. My first ride with these was recorded on April 11th, 2018, so just 2 months short of 3 years ago. First, let's load up the Favero website and have a look at what they say about why they chose the integrated battery and the lifespan they expect people to get out of it between charges. So the list here, the reason why they chose the integrated battery is because it's immune to problems such as vibrations, impacts, water, and dust. Well, I guess if you impact them hard enough, it's going to break them, but vibrations, water, and dust and end cap issues have plagued other power meter pedals, not something that these have an issue with. The lifespan is interesting. Looking into this a little deeper, they last at least 50 hours between charges. Now they say at least 50 hours here, not a maximum of 50 hours. So you can expect maybe a little more. And after only 500 complete charge and discharge cycles, which is 25,000 hours of riding, the Assioma could lose up to 20% of its initial battery life. So bringing it from 50 hours down to 40 hours. Now I estimate with these about 8 weeks between each charge, which is only 18 full charge cycles over around 3 years. To put these original Assioma Duos, almost 3 years old, to the test, I needed something that would pedal a bike for at least 50 hours, if not more, as per spec, and as long as the pedals were turning, they won't go to sleep, and they'll be broadcasting cadence, if nothing else. I also needed something to record the data. Here's what I came up with. So here's the test rig in the Llama Lab. Now what I have set up here is the Tacx Neo 2T. I have my old single speed bike installed on it. I have the Garmin Edge 1030 recording the data. I also locked the pedal bodies down with a bit of Velcro so as not to have them spin around for no reason during this test. And the magic to make this turn the pedals was to lock out the free hub and use the downhill drive feature of the Neo Trainer. By starting an activity with the Tacx training app and simulating a negative gradient, the Neo will drive the freewheel, or fixed wheel as it now was. Now, of course, this isn't a perfect test of real-world conditions, but what I was after is to see if they only lasted 25 hours, that'd be a concern. If they lasted 80 hours or well beyond the published spec, I'd have to reassess my testing conditions. But with everything up and running, I hit start, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And I also found out the Tacx utility app crashes after 45 hours on the Android platform. That wasn't ideal, but not a showstopper. The Garmin Edge 1030 would record multiple activities. I can just add those up. So I hit go again, and it ran through for another 12 hours or so after that. The end result was activity number 1 before the Tacx utility app crashed was 44.5 hours, and the second activity with the same battery charge was 12.8 hours. So the result there being just over 57 hours battery charge in here, which is also in line with a few other reviewers who have recorded over 50 hours of use time with a set of Assioma Duos. So it's all happy days, and I'm not really surprised because I haven't seen a lot of battery drain differences between when I first installed them and now. Again, I have to acknowledge this isn't a perfect test, doesn't represent standard usage, and technically it's only measuring the left side because in a Duo setup, it is the left pedal that it's connecting to as the master. But monitoring the battery drain throughout this process, they were pretty much in parallel all the way down. Over on the Favero website, they claim that once you see the power meter battery low warning on your compatible head unit, you have another 8 hours of charge left before you need to plug these in and give them some more juice. And that was in line with what I saw in the second test, which was 12 hours long. A few hours into that, I'll pop the message, and I got another 8 hours or so of life out of these. And finally today, a quick charging tip for the Favero Assioma power meter pedals, and something that I've encountered too. Now I've seen this posted online where people are saying they've plugged both pedals into the charge and only one pedal goes to full capacity. In my case, what had happened was the USB cable had just come loose a little bit from the charge head, and obviously it wasn't charging. So pushing that down, making sure those lights are solid on both pedals before walking away, you're good to go. Recharge time with the wall adapter provided by Fovero is around 2.5 to 3 hours in my experience. Being USB, they'll also charge off a USB battery, but times may vary depending on the battery that you use. Okay, wrapping this one up here for today. That's been a bit of fun watching Ghost Bike ride all by itself in the Llama Lab for over 2 days. If you're an owner of a set of Fovero Assioma Unos or Duos, let me know in the comments below how you're going with your battery life, capacity, and the longevity of your pedals. I'm keen to hear the feedback. Okay, thanks for watching.